Hi everybody. It has been a long time since I've been videoing anything. I'm hoping that I can get through this. This was going to be my craft along for July. I'm finally feeling better. I probably don't sound better, but I am feeling better. But I was going to do Christmas in July. So I had 2 cards, a gift tag, and a gift bag planned for the craft along. Um, I will have it so that if you want to buy the kits, you can. I'll get it set up with a host code. I'll let you know what that host code is as soon as I'm done. But let's get started on the cards. And the first card is going to be just kind of a very general card with the standard fold. And I'm using very vanilla for the card base. And this is pretty much a very basic set. I'm using very vanilla. I'm using mossy meadow for the color, and then I'm using the Seasons of Green and Gold Designer Series pack. I tried not to really deviate from that at all. So let's get started with this first card. Like I said, there's the base, but I'm going to take the Designer Series paper, and I like both sides, but for this card I wanted to use the bells. So I'm going to put that on there. And for this I am going to use the glue to glue it down. Maybe. See, it's been a while since I've done anything. So my glue is kind of deciding to dry up as well. So we'll put this on the base. Want to make sure that however you put it on your card, you want to make sure that your bells are right side up. So center that on that base. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue this down onto the card base. Like I said, I wanted these to be pretty basic cards, pretty fast cards. I don't know about anybody else, but at the holidays, you're trying to make a bunch of cards and you kind of want to try to get as many as you can. So then I'm going to go ahead and center this on the card base. There we go. Okay, so now we have our card base. I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to put it upright, and then I'm going to put this one on the side. But for this piece, I'm going to use the Mossy Meadow, and this is kind of a preference. You can do whichever one you want. You can use the Mossy Meadow on there, or you can use the Versamark. They kind of give the same. After they dry a little bit, when you first do the Versamark, it's a lot lighter, but after it dries, it's pretty dry. So maybe I will do the Versamark because it is just a little more subtle than the color is. And I'm just going to use the stamp Season's Greetings, and I'm just going to kind of stamp it randomly on there. So actually, let me get a piece of paper to back it, since I am going to be stamping randomly. And make sure you're right side up. Almost wasn't right side up. But I'm just going to kind of there. Just kind of put it all around there. Clean that Versamark off of my stamp. And I like to take those off of my my block right away, or else they can stick pretty good. So there's that. And then for this one, well, I need to put it right back on there. I'm going to take the Season's Greetings again, and this time I am going to go ahead and stamp it in the Mossy Meadow, because I'm stamping it on the Very Vanilla, and I do want it to stand out, so just take that, make sure it stamps good. Yep. And there, I just want to center it kind of in the oval. And this suite, the Seasons of Green and Gold, it really does work with so many different colors, but I just wanted to use the Mossy Meadow. I like the darkness of the Mossy Meadow, so I decided to work with that. So with that, I'm going to take this and I'm going to use the dimensionals to actually pop it up off of there. Now I actually could have put the dimensional over that hole, and I'll show you why in just a second, because I'm not gonna use that hole for ribbon or anything like that, and I'll show you in just a second what I'm gonna do. But so then this, I kind of want to center it on that tag. Okay, and then I'm going to apply this to here, and I'm going to go ahead and make it flat, so I'll go ahead and use glue, or you could use adhesive tape, whichever works best. Since I've got the glue over here, I'm just going to use the glue. And this, I'm just going to center it on the card. And I think that's what I do like about the glue, is that you can move things around a little bit if you need to. Or all the way if your hands decides to jump. Okay, now to hide those two holes, for one, I'm going to take some string, and I'm going to tie a little bow. So, actually kind of a big bow in a way. And however you tie a bow is the best way to do it. I kind of have to practice a little bit with it to get it to look right. It takes me a while sometimes, especially when I'm not feeling well. But nope, and that came right out. Okay, so let me try that again. I love it when you do something off camera and it works great, and then you go to do it on camera and it doesn't want to work at all. Even if you practice it and practice it and practice it. There we go. Okay, and I just took, this is the Baker's Twine Essential Pack, and I'm just using the Very Vanilla color from it. And just kind of shake it out a little bit, and I'm going to use a pop-up dot, and I'm going to apply it to there. So that covers that hole. So, very simple. And there we go there. And then to cover that hole, I'm going to use the Iridescent Pearls Basic Jewels. And I'm just going to kind of put a couple of pearls around this, and one of them is going to go right over that hole. And so that's why I was saying I could have put the dimensional over there and it would have worked out really well. So I'll just kind of put a couple here. See, did I leave the sticky on there? I sure did. There we go. There. And so there you go. And then you can choose, there is, may your holiday season be filled with warmth and cheerful celebration, or it's the most wonderful time of the year. You could use either one inside the card, or if you prefer, you could write your message. But that's really fast and simple, honestly. The dies that I used with this are actually Greetings of the Season dies, and then the Greetings of the Season stamp set. So all sorts of different shapes to go with the different sayings. So that's the first card. Okay, now it's time to make the other card. And this card is considered a fun fold card. So get everything out. Here's the envelope and here's the pieces. And here's how it's a fun fold card. It's gonna open like that, but then this is gonna fit in here. So it's gonna be two fold open. Okay, and so I'm going to be using again the Seasons of Green and Gold DSP. And like I said, I like this side for the first card, but I really did like the plaid. So I'm going to use the plaid for the inside here. And then this is a different card, but it has the leaves and the bows, and I think they're very pretty. So I'm going to use it for the front panel here, and then also for the front panel of this card, and I'm using the very vanilla on the inside here. So that's going to fit in there like that. And then it's going to have a tag for the front and then a bow on top. So we'll get started to make it. And I'll start with the bottom. Go ahead and get that put on the inside. See if I do better with the glue this time around, since I was having a little bit of trouble with it before. I think not doing any crafting, it just made all of my supplies go, I don't want to work. I don't want to play today. We'll go ahead and get that set on the inside. And you just want to center it on there. And that is one thing, like I said, what I do like the glue is that you can kind of maneuver around if you need to. So there's that. And then we'll get this piece over on this side. And I'm also using the Mossy Meadow for the card base itself. Sorry about that if you heard that ding on the glass pad. Just hoping I could get the glue going a little bit. I don't think there's really any wrong way to put that DSP. I don't think there's really an up or a down to it. But I thought they are contradicting patterns, but they're not overwhelming to each other. At least to me, they're not. I thought they kind of worked pretty well together. And then for the inside, I'm not sure which sentiment I wanted to use because it's kind of a narrow piece, so I might use that one. We'll see. May your holiday season be filled with warmth and cheerful celebration. So yeah, I think I'll try that one. And then for the front, I'll show you how I'm going to do that. But let me go ahead and get the sentiment. And I'm going to go ahead and use the Mossy Meadow. And I want to get the sentiment placed just in case it decides not to do very well. So that way I can just turn that piece over. So I'll test it, make sure it does okay, and it does. But since this is a photopolymer, we want to be sure we have a cushion underneath. So get my pad inked up again. Okay, and here's where just kind of want to center it as best you can. There we go. It does look pretty good. So I'll go ahead and stick with that. Get my stamp all cleaned off. Stamp pad must be extra juicy, as it was kind of all over my stamp. Okay. Get that off of there. Okay. Now we'll move the stamp pad out of the way a little bit. And just to let that kind of calm down a little bit, I will go ahead and get that glued on the front there. Oh, pardon me. Still got a little bit of a cough in my throat, so sorry about that. And again, I don't feel this pattern has any wrong way that you can put it. Up or down, sideways. It just kind of goes however you need to go. Okay, and then this piece is going to go on the front. So I just want to center it on that front as best I can. Okay. And then I'm going to put this piece on the inside. So go ahead and get that piece on there. Don't know how soon a lot of you get started on your Christmas cards. I know there are people who sometimes start them as soon as right after they're finished with the other ones. Some of them start in January, some of them start in July. And then there are people who start them in December. Guess it's whenever works best for you. Okay, and so this piece is going to go in the center here. So we'll get it glued in there. It's kind of whenever works best. Whenever you just have the time. Sometimes the summer is not the best time because you're just out doing summer activities. Okay, and so we want to center that as best as we can. There we go. Matches up pretty good, and see, that's gonna overlap that. So there we go. And now we're gonna take this piece and we're gonna stamp it. Now I kind of want to do a little play on fonts because we have our happy in the sans serif, and then we have the holidays in the script font. So I want to try to do that, just kind of give it a little bit of a difference. So I'm going to go ahead and put them both on my block, and I'm kind of going to use my glass and the lines to help kind of line it up a little bit if I can. Kind of hard to see that script through there. And then that happy. So there, I kind of want it to look like that. Give it just a little bit of depth. Make sure that it stamps okay. Yep, it looks okay. I don't know, that to me that happy could come down a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and clean that off and see if I can move that happy down just a bit. Okay. Again, I'm going to use my lines. Just kind of bring that down a little. There. Now let's give that one a try. See what I think of that. Oh, yeah, I think I like that better. Coming down a little bit more. Okay, yeah, I will go ahead and stick with that one. So get it inked up again. Now kind of center it on there as best as I can. And there we go. Happy holidays. Get our stamp cleaned off. I like that this set, it has a couple of variations like that, they've got the sans serif and then the script for the different sayings, and I like that. So see, they have the holidays, the happy, the merry, the New Year, the Christmas, and they have the happy, the holidays, merry, Christmas, New Year. They've got it all so that you can use them interchangeably, and I really do like that with this set. Okay, we'll go ahead and close up our ink pad, and for this I'm going to attach it to the front with the dimensionals. So we'll get those on the back. And we're going to do again, we're going to cover that hole up with a pearl so I can put that dimensional right over that hole. And it's not gonna be a problem. So there we go with that. Get those backs off. And then get that centered on the front. Okay. Okay, and then we're going to use the pearls. Like I said, I'm going to put that pearl over that hole again. Kind of space the pearls out a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to tie a bow with our twine, and then again I'm just using that Baker's Twine Essential Pack, and this time I'm using the crumb cake color. And so what I like to do, and I'll see if I can do this on camera, like I said yesterday it was, or last time it wasn't working for me as well, but I just kind of like to wrap it around my fingers a couple of times, then tie that last little bit around, make a loop, tie it, pull it through, and then I have a pretty good little loopy bow. Okay, and I'm going to attach that loopy bow to the top with a dot, a glue dot. And you could probably do a real bow if you wanted to. I like this Baker's Twine, and then I like that it did, you know, it just kind of goes with it a little well, I feel. And there we go. So there we have our happy holidays, and may your holiday season be filled with warmth and cheerful celebration. So there's that one. Okay, now this one is going to be a tag. Just thought this would be like I said, I really like these dies of the greetings of the season. They have all sorts of shapes, and I just thought they layer very well. So I wanted to do something that involved those shapes. And then this I did do the golden greenery that also goes with this suite. The dies for it, of course you can stamp if you wanted to, but the dies will also cut out some of the shapes in the paper. So that is something that I really enjoy about these new dies, is that a lot of them will work with the DSP, and they'll actually cut out some of the shapes from the DSP, because there you can cut out, there's the bells, you can cut out the bells from the DSP, the big and the small. You can cut out the different leaves, and the bows. And then there's the little, it's hard for them to, not these ones you can't cut out, but there is another one on another paper that you can cut out the little berries. So that is something that I really like about the new dies. But that's the Golden Greenery stamp set, and it's all in one big suite. You get the Greetings of the Season, you get the Golden Greenery, and then you get the DSP, so it all comes together really well. So I did have the tag, so I kind of wanted to look at my tag. Now what I did do on the back of this tag is I kind of did the same thing like what I did with that first card, where I stamped the saying on the card in the Versamark. I'm going to do that same thing on this, but I'm going to do it in that Happy Holidays. So I'm going to put that back on my set, on my block here. So we'll get that. Make sure it's upright. Don't want to have Happy Holidays upside down. And then, like I said, I'd like that closer there to the edge. Okay. So now I'm going to use that Versamark to stamp on there. So we'll move these off to the side. And since I'm going to be doing it off the edge, make sure it stamps good. Okay. And here I'm just going to stamp it here and there. Kind of, yeah. Oh wait, it looks like it's just kind of randomly on there. Okay, get the stamp cleaned off. Close our Versamark pad. So there's that. And then the next one that I'm going to put on is this one. And I'm actually not going to adhere these down. But what I am going to adhere down is these little shapes in the back, just to, I was trying to see if I could maybe get them to be free too. And maybe I will, let me go see if I can find my little hole punch. Because that way, if they're kind of hanging free too, that would be kind of pretty. I was going to adhere them, but I do like the thought of them just kind of just hanging free, and then I might cut the tops of them off, but then layer that one on top of there. And then this piece, I'm going to actually stamp the to and the from on there. So we have a to stamp, and then we also have the from. So we'll go ahead and do that, and I'm going to go ahead and do that in the Mossy Meadow. Again, I tried to keep this all the same color so that you could see how you could use one color for the whole thing, not needing all sorts of different colors throughout it, just the one color. So we'll stamp the to kind of up here. Okay. And then stamp the from a little more at the bottom. Wanted to come with me. Get that cleaned off of there. There we go. Okay, and then the two little bells, just wanted to put them up there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and string it through, string the string through all of it. And kind of have to do it all one at a time, because the string does not like to go through with it all together. So So I may even have to at one point cut that piece down a little bit, because if it already starts to fray, it's hard to get it to go again. Yep. So I'm going to cut that piece down because I had been using it. So just cut it off really quick. Okay, make sure I'm going the right way. And that hole is just big enough. That would help if I wasn't shaky still. That would also help. And the reason I chose this side is because it's got the shine in it. I like the back side too, but I like that shine on that. And that is one thing I like about this green and gold specialty paper. It's got a shine on one side of the cardstock, like you can see in the bow, and then even in the leaves they have a shine to them as well. It's kind of hard for me to. There we go. Okay, and then the very last one, I'll get it in there. There we go. So get it all to come back around, lay flat. Even that out a little bit more, and then we'll tie it in a loop and a bow at the top. And then you can use this to attach it to your package, or you can just leave it as a bow and big loopy bow, like, or however you want to do it. And I'm using again the baker's twine, and this time I'm using the very vanilla, because I like the very vanilla. But there you go. So there you have a pretty little tag that you can attach to a package. Okay, now this last one is actually going to be a little gift bag. That we had made this gift bag when those of us who had earned the April Sales Challenge, we earned the specialty pink DSP. So we all got to attend a special demo for us, and they showed us how to make this cute little gift bag. And I will show you how I made it. Let me get everything out of the way. Okay. Now I'm going to be using this is going to actually attach to the little gift bag, but hopefully I can set this on here so that you can see it pretty well. The first time I made the gift bag, I did use my trimmer that has the score on it. The thing is that my score would actually, it's a little bit sharper, so it actually cut straight through the DSP. No matter how light I was or anything, it just would cut straight through it. So I opted out and I decided to use my Score Pal instead. I was looking, wanted to make sure I got my measurements right. Well, there it is. Sorry about that. Okay, so you do start with a 10.5. We'll show you on here, 10.5 by 6 piece of paper. So you could use this with your 12 by 12 pretty DSP, and I used wanting my bag to have this pretty shiny side out, you know, and then this is going to be on the inside. But I thought this makes it look like one of those expensive shopping bags. But if you have a nice 12 by 12 or an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper that you like, you could still make this with that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to score it, and the first score that we're going to do is at 1/2. So right here, and like I said, I'm using my scoreboard because it doesn't score it as, it's not as sharp, but it still gives me a good score. So the first one is at 1/2, and then we're going to score it 1 inch. And actually, I'm going to turn it over because the score is better on this side if I do it on this side. And then we're going to score at 1.5 inches. And then the next score we're going to score at is clear over here at 5.5 inches. Okay, and then we're going to go to 6. And then the last score is going to be at 6.5 on this way. That's with the long side at the top. And then with the short side at the top, we're going to score one of these ends, and this is where you'd kind of want to be sure that, you know, if you're using a sheet that you has an up and a down, you'd want this 1 inch score to be at the bottom. But since this one doesn't matter which way, so we're going to just score it 1 inch here at the bottom. Okay, and that's why I do like my score pad, because another thing that I like about it is it does come with little markers that you can place on the top. So if I couldn't remember, which I almost couldn't, I could have put the markers up there to let me know. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to be cutting at some of these marks. Now I did make a template. See, this was made with just a regular piece of 8.5 by 11 white, and I know it's very hard to see the score marks, but there you can see them. And then at the bottom, and then what we did here is we're going to make it so that it'll go together better. So we're going to be cutting off that very end piece there. We're going to cut that piece off, and I've got to step out so I can kind of see where I'm at. Okay, and then we're going to diagonal cut that end. So you just want to kind of go in a little bit and cut. Did that. And then kind of a triangle cut there over that score part. And it does help, like I said, I made that white piece because that does help me a little bit. That keeps me so I can see exactly what I'm doing. And then the next, and then these channels are the gussets on the side. So we're going to do another triangle cut over the first gusset. Okay, and then the second. Okay, and then we're going to make a slight diagonal cut on the very end. Okay, so there, as you can see, my paper is the same as the template. I've got all the little places. Now here's where you want to fold them in. Going to start to form the shape of the bag. Fold your pieces up and in. This is going to be your bottom. Okay, and for the gussets, I like to just fold the top in a little bit, but not really go all the way down. So there's that. And then this edge, yes, I do want to go the full fold of it. So then we've got the full fold of that end. And then here again, we've got the gusset that I don't want to do the whole thing, but just kind of part of the way down. And then the end on the side. Okay, and so there we go. And then your end pieces are going to go in, and so it's going to make a cute little bag. You can use your adhesive, you can use tear and tape, whatever you want to work with that's easier for you to work with, that's what you need to use. You could use the glue. It doesn't matter, whichever you like to work with the best. Okay, so I will go ahead and get that started along that edge. So I'll put my side of my bag together. Just kind of want to make sure that it all lines up well. And that's maybe sometimes where glue might be best, because you can kind of maneuver it around a little bit. But then just kind of push down from the top and the bottom. Make sure you got a solid stick there. Okay. And now you're in pieces. So again, kind of use whichever's going to work easiest for you. There, I think I got it pretty good. So we'll fold those pieces in. And here's just kind of where you want to make sure it stays a pretty rectangle as best you can. And then you can take your fingers in there and kind of push it down. But so there you have a cute little gift bag. Now, I'm going to use this. Here's another, see, I even could have used maybe that as the gift bag part, but I liked this part. I'm going to put the little tag on top of there. And for this, I'm going to use the For You sentiment. I just thought that doesn't have the to and from, it just says for you, so you could use it for anybody. Oh, actually that says love and joy, so we don't want that one. Well, you could use that one. Grab the one right above it. So there we go, For You. Those scripts are, you gotta really pay attention. There we go, For You. Okay, get my little piece of foam out here. And here you just kind of want to center it. There you go, For You. Okay. Now for this, I am just going to take my string, and I'm just going to tie this as in a bow over it, a big loopy bow. And I could probably bring that string down a little bit, because I do want it to be kind of a big loopy bow, but I don't know if I want it to be that big. Okay, so there, yeah, that's a pretty good size bow. So get my scissors over here. Okay, but then I am going to apply this to here with pop-up dots. So see, that's where I don't want to cover that hole, because I do want that string to be able to kind of move around a little bit. So we've got that. And I've got two ways to close this, and I'll show you both ways, because I don't know, kind of like both ways. Now I'm going to put this over on the side. So kind of line that up a little bit. Push that down. So there's that. Now, like I said, I've got two ways to close this. They showed us at our little the bonus seminar that we saw, they had us tie it closed with this pretty iridescent ribbon, and then it just slides on and off, so that's how you keep it closed. I made another little bag, as you can see here, and I poked 4 holes in the top, and then I used some of the ribbon to actually put a handle on it. And as you can see, I tied a little knot inside. So there's that idea. But I also really fell in love with another idea that I was in the store and I saw these and I thought, oh, I think that would be a cute way to close that as well. So you'll have to let me know what you think, you know, which one you think is the best. But I thought maybe just closing it with a cute little tiny pin, and you could even decorate that up, like you could put one of the, maybe punch out one of the bells and put adhesive on the bell and put it on there. You could tie a little bow on it. You could even color these, since they're wood, you could color it in the green. I just thought that was a cute little way to maybe close it as well. So that's something, but I did forget, I also put some pearls on this as well. So let's get those on there. Just kind of put those on there, and then I put a big old one down here on the bottom. But there you go. So those are the 3 cards. Well, the 2 cards and the tag, and then the little gift bag that I made for this. And again, they have the green and gold, Seasons of Green and Gold DSP. I used the Very Vanilla, and I used the Mossy Meadow, and I used the Mossy Meadow for the gift tag. So it's all the same, and I thought that was the best way. Oh, I'm sorry, those fell out, but that way you could see that you could do it all, use all the same color, and still have a variety and a different layout. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I will see you next month. Actually, probably will see you about the 20th when I get the next paper pumpkin kit in the mail, and I do hope to have a box opening of some of the pre-order items from the mini catalog that came out. The customer ordering for the new mini catalog will be September 3rd, I believe. Maybe 2nd. I will have to check my dates, but it'll be in September. And it is full of more Christmas and Thanksgiving patterns and papers, and I can't wait for you guys to be able to see that. But thank you for sticking with me.